Hello, my dear ones. It's always a great pleasure to spend time with you and to discuss the finer things of life, as they say. You know, getting into the realm of your consciousness and into the realm of your physical body and fixing it. You know, getting yourself happy and getting yourself well. You know, I was going to say, we have so many young people watch our site. I love all you young guys. We got everyone from 5 years old, 6 years old, 7 years old, to 11 years old. I told you about our 11-year-old girl here. We got 13-year-olds. We got all levels of young people watching us. And I wanted to talk to you guys a little bit, because I really haven't spent much time talking to you younger folks. And I always love to talk to the younger adults in life and those that are coming up. You're coming up on a very tough planet right now, there's no question. And you've got good parents that let you sit and listen to these videos and learn how to be well. And that's difficult when you're young to even think about health. I'm amazed at all of you young folks that are writing me, asking me about your health issues. When I was your age, I never even gave it a thought. But we never suffered like some of the young people are suffering today. There wasn't the acne all over the body, the lymphatic problems, the kidney problems, the neurological problems, the digestive problems. We didn't have all those things growing up like some of you guys do. And it just shows you the decay of the human in terms of their diets and the effect those diets have on the human cells and on the human body. Which, when we talk about the human body, we're just talking about a body made of little bitty cells. Some cells are a foot long, other cells are little bitty. Some cells you can hardly see them. But your body's made of 100 trillion. That's a number that's really big. That's a lot of cells. So, when you go to school, a lot of times, some of your classmates sometimes laugh because you're eating better than they are. So I want you all to know that you never want to accept the pressure from your friends. We call it peer pressure. Pressure from your friends or being laughed at, because you guys are the ones that are doing the right focus. When you're changing your diet to fruits and berries and melons, that's the diet for humans. We're like monkeys and we need to eat that way. And when we do, we get healthy. When we eat like lions and tigers and bears, oh my, we start paying a price because we're not lions and tigers and bears. So that's the problem. We can't eat like those animals because we're not those type of animals. We're more refined. And therefore we actually originated in the islands, the humans. And we are designed to eat islander food, which is more fruits and berries and melons. Some veggies, but you don't have to have a lot of them. You know, the world is tough right now, and we see a lot of things going on in people's attitudes and stuff, and so there's a lot of people not very happy right now. And that's why we're all helping together, working together to get people healthier, and they're happier when you're healthier. You're happy when you feel good. You're not happy when you don't feel good. So getting to feel good is eating properly, guys. And you young guys at 4 and 5 years old and at 10 and 11 eating raw foods, those are good parents, and they will save you so much stress, so much heartache as your body starts to break down on you. It is a fact that nowadays the younger you are, the more unhealthy you are, genetically speaking. Meaning that your cells came out of your parents' cells and your grandparents' cells. But we're at a level now that we've weakened our bodies pretty much. And so it's a tough ride to get the health back for some people. But it's a good time to start is when you're young. Because when you get my age, you look back and you wish you would have done more of different things. You know, and so keep strong with your raw foods. And if your friends laugh at you, tell them you need to do what I'm doing because I'm getting my body healthy. So if any of your friends say that, you can step right up and tell them that you eat healthy, and they should too. So I really love you guys for doing that, taking care of yourselves. There's another thing I wanted to talk about for all of us, but including the young, is to learn not to judge others. You know, we put up this video, just a happy holiday video, and we got so many negative comments because of weight problems. And yet everyone's working on it. Marcy's really thin, and you just only see her big breasts. But to make comments like they do, rude comments, these are rude people. And rude people have to pay prices for what they do. And it's not prices that we invoke, it's prices that God invokes. So it's just karma, what they call karma. In other words, what you put out there, you get back. And you can't stop that. It's a law of God. It's a law of what they call physics. So you never want to judge your fellow man or ladies over anything. We are born as individuals. We're born on this planet into a very difficult situation. Everybody's on their own journeys of expansion. Well, I'll say learning, but the mind knows it all anyway. So it's a process, and everybody has a different journey. That's why you should always be happy with yourself as an individual. God didn't create two blades of grass the same. How many blades of grass do you think there are on this planet? Not one is the same. Not one. How many snowflakes, little bitty snowflakes, do you think that fall on this planet every year? You couldn't, it's infinitesimal, you couldn't calculate it, right? Each snowflake is different. There's no two snowflakes, there's no two anything that's identical. We must learn from that and realize that your individuality is your blessing, is your beauty. We judge others because of some ridiculous, because of our egos. We have a certain view of what we think things should be, and if people don't live up to that, then our egos come in and we go, well, you're doing this, I'm better than you. That's what judgment says, that I'm better than you guys. And judgment never gives anybody well. It hurts people's feelings, and then the person that's doing the judging is always wrapped up in their egos, and they never get to experience God because their ego stops them from experiencing happiness and fun. So it's those people that judge that have the problems. You should never worry about anybody that says anything about you. You always do your best, always. And if it's just 50% raw foods, it's 50% raw foods. If it's 100% raw foods, it's 100% raw foods. It's all you can do in the moment. And we all work to strive to do better in our lives. We all do that. There are some, obviously, that don't want to do better or think they already are better than others. So you never want to judge. It's one of the big spiritual hallmarks. Backbiting and judgment of others, this never leads to anything good. And so it just makes those that judge look pretty ridiculous. But I want to wish all of you, and you young guys, a happy holidays. Merry Christmas for those that look at Christmas for what it is. I look at Christmas for Santa Claus. Fun times. It doesn't matter if you're Jewish. It doesn't matter who you are around the world. Enjoy the holidays. It's a fun time. You know, this idea of judging others, and even for their religious belief systems, has to stop. You know, religion is man-made. Spirituality is God. So you want to be careful. Treat everybody as if they're a piece of God. When you look at your friends, they're just a little piece of God experiencing life here on this plane and in other worlds. So you never want to judge anybody for anything. That's not good. But I'm real proud of each and every one of you guys, especially you younger guys who are really winning and following the programs, clearing up your skin problems, which is clearing up your lymphatic systems, saving yourself from cancers and tumors in the future. You're doing really well, and I'm just so proud of every one of you. So I'll read a few of your questions here, but it's holidays, you know, and Chris has been on vacation, the camera's been down, so I greatly apologize for not having some videos up for you. I'll try to come in over the Christmas holidays and shoot some videos and catch up with some things. And we want to kick it up a little bit. We're also planning to make a movie. We got all kinds of fun things we're planning on doing. So I got, say YouTube, so I got my blood and poop tested, and it turns out I have a whole list of bacteria, parasites that is not supposed to be there. So the thing she saw was Lyme, bartonella, I don't even know what that was, anaplasma, listeria, cryptosporidium. I always have a hard time with that one. It's like, it's such a tongue twister, right? Streptococcus, well, I have staph and strep, guys. I have to tell you, staph and strep are common bacterium that's in us at all times. A lot of these are common that's in us at all times. And remember, bacteria is just a little one single-celled organism that is created by God to clean the planet. So bacteria's job is to clean, or in science, to bring back to the atomic structure again, back to the atoms again, back to the Lego pieces, so we can build other things on this planet. Remember, we use atoms to build, and all the elements that like calcium and magnesium that make up all life are made up of atoms. And as we start making atoms, make molecules, make elements, then make substances, and it gets getting bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. As the bigger pieces, like human bodies, break down, it all goes back down to the little atoms again. And then life can take those atoms and, oh, here's a lady that wants to have a baby. Oh, we got the atoms for you right over here. God can't create new atoms because this world is already created. You can't bring in new atoms to the structure of the universe. It's already structured. So that's why we have birth, life, and death. Your soul comes down, uses the body for a while, gives the body back. The body's broken down. The atoms then can be used for other bodies. It's that simple. No big deal. Okay. I ordered Parasite G and M since I never really did a parasite cleanse. I would. And on that Parasite G, I'd probably do about 5 capsules, 4 times a day. And that, you could even go up from there if you want. If you're figuring you got bigger worms, like your roundworms, your tapeworms, you want to hit them good with Parasite G. They don't like wormwood very well at all. Don't know what dosage and how long I should take them, though, and if they would work on these things too. Oh, absolutely. But I want you to remember culturing medium. She had to take a culture in some way to get this, whether it was through your blood or stool cultures or whatever. You're culturing this bacteria by your very diet or your previous diet. If you're in a raw foods now, you just haven't cleaned some of these out. And they'll clean out. The real problem is the system within you have abnormal growth of these, and that's in the lymphatic system, the sewer system. And then I have another big question. Actually, it's something. But anyway, going back, Parasite G, about 4 capsules, 5 capsules, 4 times a day. Parasite M, you can do about the same. And that problem is, you really don't want to kill all the bacteria in the body. That would give you a very serious problem. We happen to watch this a lot through the years, and I think the herbs are selective killers. I hate to say it in that way, but I think that we use a lot of Parasite M, and we don't see people's bacterium being destroyed. I love that, because your bacteria is essential to your body. You don't have bacteria, you're a little boy in the bubble. And you got to have bacterium. The only people freak out about bacterium is medical doctors, because they don't understand their role in nature. They see them as a part of the effect of a problem, and therefore they must be the problem. They're not causative thinkers, but they're not trained to be causative thinkers. And that's what we need to do, is retrain ourselves into causative thinking. That you might have heard of, because it's talked a lot about lately in the Morris community Facebook group. Oh, wow. And that is about minerals and hybrid fruits. The claim is that because all fruit can get, except berries, is hybrid and don't have enough minerals because of demineralization of soil and not ripened before picking, that eating this fruit would lead to the body leaking minerals to compensate. What? The guy that introduced this thing wrote a free ebook that you've probably seen on lymphbuster.com, and he talks about the importance of minerals if eating this much fruit. All right, let's stop right there before we go on. I told you that just so you guys would get a good picture of that, we've got a chart that shows you the nutritional content of mother's milk, monkey milk, cow's milk, goat milk, soy milk. We've got coconut milk. Look at the mineral content of mother's milk, and you tell me why it's so low. All these jokers that claim all this stuff have no clue. The mineral side of life is the most elemental. And they're not used for cell rebuilding and all this kind of crap out there. They're used more as coenzymes. So, and of course, a lot of the plants move a lot of minerals into the salts, which is have a more refined effect on the human body. And then, of course, all the byproducts can be broken and combined into salts and eliminated more safely. When you get down into your elementals, that's where everybody's wrong. Because you don't see that in the dietary habits of primates or humans. Should be. So you can take a primate who has very low minerals, and a good example is orangutans, who are living where they need to live. You can take a baby orangutan who has no minerals, that lives predominantly on fruits and berries and melons, which is full of salts and minerals, and they can rip a human apart. They can rip this guy that wrote the ebook, rip him apart. And they don't have minerals. Heavy minerals. And it's wrong to assume that, because again, the more elemental chemistry is, the lower the electrical charge, and therefore can be cumbersome on the human body electrically. So you have to be real careful. Minerals are, again, mostly coenzymes, although enzymes, you have to remember, is in every catalytic process in the human body. There is an enzyme present. And minerals are activators of enzymes sometimes. So you get plenty of minerals in the fruits and the berries and the melons and all this. In terms of hybrid, what isn't hybrid? Herbs. Your vegetables are hybrids. I don't know what he's talking about. All vegetables are hybrids. They're all hybrids. All our stuff's hybrids by now. The best place to get a hybrid food is a tree. Because you have the whole root system of a tree. You have the whole tree itself. So a fruit tree would be the best to have any hybrid fruit off of it at all. It is true about the ripeness, though. Very true. Very true. We need to pick fruit more ripe. No question about it. But because something's hybrid doesn't mean it's going to kill you and rip you up. And we rebuild everybody on hybrid fruits. So this guy hasn't got a clue. And he's saying things that are not true. People are heavy into the minerals, and stuff. They're stimulants. So if you take a lot of minerals, it stimulates, you can feel a little better. But it doesn't regenerate. Not at the level we're talking about. Only fruits, berries, and melons have the power to regenerate, at least fruits and berries, at that level that we're talking about. When you see cases that we're doing of extreme mutation, and we're bringing them back on fruits and berries, have this guy explain it to me. From hybrid fruits, the very thing he's tearing down, explain why I'm regenerating all levels of cases with them. I've heard this old saying again about the minerals, and it's like, don't get lost in that. Let your food be your medicine, and your medicine be your food. It's all Hippocratean. If you're worried about minerals, you need to fix your digestion and absorption. These fellas don't have any idea about that level of problem that can block the absorption of nutrients. Then let's think about another thing. How is minerals utilized by the human body? Adrenal steroids. Now, how many people have healthy adrenal glands? I even fight mine. We all fight them. Nobody's perfect. So it's just, we're all working on ourselves. Just because we found out some answers doesn't mean we're perfect. But I suppose all those people that are judging everybody else out there is perfect. Sad stuff, But that's why the Dalai Lama said the strange part about this planet is the humans. And he talks big topic about what I basically wonder is your thoughts on this, and also what would be a good idea for someone that doesn't have access to greens and other mineral-rich veggies. I've heard of an ancient mineral supplement. I don't know how to pronounce that. Is the God's Herbs a superfood blend a good source of heavy minerals? But again, We're not a heavy mineral species. Even your elephants and stuff. I mean, you see the elephants go to the clays once in a while to get the minerals, but you don't see the horses and all the other big animals do that. I mean, you just see them do salt licks once in a while, stuff like that, but you don't have that in nature out there. And when you look at a horse, a totally different species, you've got a wild stallion out there that you don't want to mess with. I raised horses, so we know what horses are all about. You don't want to mess with a wild stallion. And yet, what's their diet? Grass. Where do they get their proteins? Where do they get their minerals? You could say greens have minerals, but so does fruits and berries. For the level you need them for the species that are supposed to eat them. You have to understand this is all about species. You can't work on a consciousness of the past with all the mineral concepts or protein concepts and bring them forward and understand all what's happening with us, because that's all propaganda. That's all people's ideas about minerals and proteins, because they're stimulants. And you can feel a little better on them. Granted. But they don't regenerate the human body at all. And that's the key. And a good example of this is calcium or gelatin, silica, that sort of thing. Women who had weak fingernails would just go on a supplement of gelatin or something like that, of course, silica or calcium, and their fingernails get hard again. Then they stop taking it. And the fingernails go back the way they were. What's that? Have this man explain to you how that all works. But you can't complain about minerals and all the other forms of chemistry until you fix a couple of things. And what would be those things that you would have to fix in the human body before you can bitch about your foods being bad? You must fix digestion. You must fix absorption. You must fix utilization, which is hormones and steroids. And then you must fix elimination, proper bowel movements, kidney filtration, and proper sweating. You don't fix those up, then your whole world is whacked off, and then people like this can make these kind of statements and think they're accurate. But the God's blend is full of minerals, so it's just a major mineral complex. Now, there's no question I don't mind people using that and stuff. When you're detoxifying, use the fruits and the berries and the melons. If you're living life and you're just having fun, yeah, you can superfood blend it and things like that, but you don't need to. But you can, if you feel like you need that. But during detoxification, keep all that down. Let me see here. Would be really interesting to hear your opinions on this. I've actually noticed that I crave more greens the more fruit I eat. It wouldn't be because of minerals, though. And I wouldn't know why you would crave the greens, because we are not a species of eating greens. And if this guy thinks we are, I don't know where he comes from. Wrong thinking. There's no way we're a green eater. And any way you look at it, with the teeth, the digestive organs, the amount of juices, the level, all of this, we're not even close to a greens eater. We can deal with some veggie fruits, which is your avocados, your cucumbers, and things like that, peas maybe. But if you think we're a green eater, that's a mistake. You don't want to eat greens like that. I mean, is it better than, let's say, the meats and the grains and the beans? Oh, yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. You know, we're splitting hairs here. Absolutely. And I don't mind if people have salads. Who cares? But if you're going for regeneration, you're removing tumors, and you want to rebuild genetic weaknesses in cells, and you want to rebuild the body, it's interesting that you have to go to the fruits and the berries and the melons. I will say this. Of those three, the berries are the most powerful, in my opinion, because they're the least hybrid and the most powerful. Most of them are rich in flavonoids. But most fruits, if you tree ripe a fruit, it's really good, you know. And we all can turn these soils. You got to remember another thing. Roots go hunting for nutrition. We can say about the topsoils, I'm very familiar with, I get that. That's something we got 50 years ago, man. But roots go hunting, and that's all I can tell you. The tree looks for food just like you look for food. So does plants. They all look for food. When I'm moving big trees, and I mean I move big trees, full-grown trees, right? I'm a mutt Langham that way. Mutt and I like to move big trees, full-grown, helicopters, the whole 9 yards. You can always tell where a tree has been in a soil where it had to hunt for its food, because you can't hardly get it out. I've had a tree once that we were down in the hole in a huge excavator. We were down in the hole, couldn't even see the excavator anymore, and we still couldn't find the bottom of the root system. It's amazing. But it just taught me that our little friends go hunting for their food, just like we do. You know, you don't want to lay a lot into that. You know, you got a lot of people with bizarre ideas here. I get the mineral idea. It's been around a long time. But we'll be better off if you just focus on the foods that your body's designed to and start griping at farmers to start raising their foods better. In other words, when you have an organic orange down in Florida, not from California, from Florida, and the soils have been organicized, so to speak, you can't believe it. They're this big, and they're so sweet, your toes curl, and you can just feel the power that they have. Minerals are probably the least part of the plant that the body needs, guys. You got so many parts of the plants or the fruits that the body needs, from the flavonoids to the coumarins to the, well, there is some less tannins in fruits and stuff like that than the greens. You have to be careful about the tannins and alkaloids in the greens and stuff. So there's things to watch out for in all levels. But don't get trapped in that ridiculous idea of vegetables. But I agree, we have to go seeking our food, and it's hard to get good ripe fruit. It really is. In terms of hybrid, everything's hybrid. You know, except your herbs, and that's why you see such a pick. But I regenerate people from the worst of conditions on hybrid fruits. Who cares? But they're a lot less hybrid than the vegetables. Vegetables are hybrid all over the place. In terms of bacteria, parasites, and stuff, do a parasitic cleanse, get your lymph system cleaned out, change your terrain, and you'll stop cultivating these little fellas. Dr. Morris, could you please comment a little bit on why some women have severe morning sickness which lasts all day and night during the entire pregnancy? That's a good question. You know what? That tells me how toxic a woman is. And of course, how the baby lays in there too. You know, that's another problem. You know, when you look at the bowels of a woman and all of this, and you just never know. There's prolapsed bowels, uteruses, there's all this during all this, and you just never know what's laying on something. But whenever you see all that sickness, that totally is like an acidosis. And it's just either you've got the child laying on something, or your body's really, you know, your lymph system's backed up. So that's part of the problem. So if I was you, I'd just go on a raw food diet. A raw food diet. I wouldn't go, you're pregnant, right? I wouldn't go any herbs or anything. Because if you're that sick, you know, I never seen this, but the possibility of an abortion there from the body getting rid of a fetus because of a weakness could be, you know. Sounds like, you know, people that get a lot of morning sickness up to me are fairly toxic. The women that I've talked to that are raw foodists and stuff, who have carried and stuff, they don't have any morning sicknesses and stuff like that. So take a look inside of yourself, get a picture of your eyes, and take a look at your lymph system and that sort of thing. See what your GI tract is like, because this is where probably the problem is. Stomach, liver, you know, take a look at those areas in there and see what, or just start cleaning them up. And that'll take that morning sickness out of you and everything else. While some other women are very little, yeah, exactly. I've seen that a lot. So I know exactly where you're coming from with that. But again, toxicity levels of the female make the difference also in monthly cycles in your periods. Remember, we talked a lot about that too. So the more backed up your lymph system is, the more you see a woman's periods heavy, odorous, clotty, those sort of things. And you can have pituitary weaknesses and stuff like this and have an estrogen dominant situation, is true, but the body pretty much regulates itself, and you just see this in the healthier the woman, the less period, everything's better. Finally she can feel like she's whole again, you know, because there's so much negative, men are just so crude sometimes, but there's just so much negativity toward a woman's monthly cycles and stuff, and people need to understand that and what's going on here and the importance of them, but the importance to clean the body and be a healthy mother in that way. Real important stuff. What is imbalanced in our body? It's not unbalanced, it's toxemia. And again, you can look to the stomach, to the GI tract, liver, gallbladder. That would be your places I would go first. Take a look, picture of your eyes, and you'll see your whole world there. And should we fix before pregnancy? My opinion, all ladies should detoxify their body for a couple months at least. How far you want to go just depends on yourself. But please clean yourself up, get your kidneys filtering, get your adrenal glands up, get your nervous system up, because that's what you're passing. And look at what you and your husband or whoever is, and look at your health issues. Take a picture of the eyes and ask yourself, do you want my baby to come this same way? And look at what the medical doctors are doing to the babies, guys. There's no joke about this. These babies are getting butchered by the AMA because they have no clue how to help genetically compromised infants. No clue. They're doing the knitting, remember, tying the stomach around the esophagus when they have GI tract weaknesses and stuff, digestive problems, and they're trying to put high protein and lipids down them like Pedisure and stuff like this. Are you kidding? So they're killing your babies, not helping them. These are facts, guys. Facts. Your chemistry you ingest is why you suffer. This isn't diseases flying around. Oh, everybody has Lyme's. It's just ticks are flying around, landing on people. I didn't feel a bite, but okay. You gotta get with what's going on. The big lie that's perpetrated by the AMA. You got to get with that because there's so many people dying from these lies. But it is a population controller, no question. And I guess if you're totally a detached person, or you don't care, then I guess it doesn't matter. But all women should take some time, guys, and get yourself healthy a little bit, because you want to carry to term. You want to have that baby to come out with good kidneys, good adrenals, really popping. You want their lymph systems the less involved, and they're going to have your lymph systems. So this is a time where you really want to take care of your babies, pre and after. Also, what can we do during the pregnancy to alleviate this nausea? I'd go raw as possible. And if that, if that doesn't do it, you might want to do a little kidney, adrenal gland. You might want to do a stomach and bowel formula. Clean up a little bit. There's some herbs you can take during pregnancy that's quite fine, and that'll actually help the fetus as well. So some of those you want to do. I would definitely clean up my bowels, do a stomach and bowel formula. The lymphatics are the ones I would be real cautious with because they're the most aggressive ones. They're the ones you need because they're the ones that clean you the most. But turn on some things. Turn on kidneys, turn on glands, things like this. Get the nervous system. You can use brain and nerve, upper circulate. You can do all kinds of stuff. Turning on your nervous system, turning on the baby's nervous system. You can't ask for anything better than that. You want a smart kid, right? And you don't want a child that has trouble all the time. You look at all these other young people that are following us. They're full of acne. They're full of all kinds of acids, these poor souls, and they're fighting to be happy and healthy. You don't want babies like that. So good questions. Good questions, Mom. Good questions there. Her name is Oana. Good questions. Thank you, sweetheart. Thank you so much thank you. But we're all pieces of God trying to help God refine itself and make things better. You don't do that by complaining about others and backbiting and things like that. We all put our arms around each other and say, let's go to work. Let's clean things up. The judgment of others never leads to anything good, ever. Dear Dr. Morse, your guidance and inspiration, physical, mental, and spiritual, mean the world to me. Oh, thank you, my friend. Thank you. I love your videos and I've learned so much from them. So happy I found you. Well, thank you and I love you. Thank you so much. I've known since I was a kid something was wrong with me. Oh, I was always ultra-sensitive to everything, indicating adrenal weakness. I inherited this from both parents who were raised in Europe. Both were 5 and 7 years old when the war started. Oh, yeah, that's got to be a real adrenal killer war. Oh, Jesus Christ. Those poor guys, gals. And as children, we're constantly running to shelters from air raids. Oh, my God, losing homes and probably malnutrition. Yeah, big time. All the above. All the above. I've looked at that, too. Sad stuff, just the way it is. As a child, I suffered every possible kind of abuse, constantly frightened and suffered from disassociation when life got to be too much. That's sad. But you're right on, I think, with your adrenal glands there. That whole thing has to be an adrenal crasher, of course. So I can understand why you suffer here. My adrenals were definitely shot. I suffered from addiction to help medicate my frazzled nerves for years. After 20 years therapy and yoga helped. Good. Yeah, I mean, just got to rebuild the body, get away from the stress, let the fruits and the berries and the melons, even the salads, let them all hug you. And let nature hug you. You know, let the plants love you. Let everything love you. And open your heart up. And it opens everything up. And get a hold of that mind. That's a thought that came to me for you. Get a hold of that mind. That's for you. I've been into health, fitness, and yoga in my entire life. And at 57, started having tremors on right side. No. Can't have tremors. They are now constant in right arm. Oh, no. I'm 60 years young. I like this guy or gal. And I was diagnosed 9 months ago with tremor-only Parkinsons. Oh, man. Don't get me started on the medical system, but I tried their medication. Exactly. Oh, my God. To slow down its progress for 2 weeks and immediately went off. Yeah, you got it. Literally a nightmare results. I know it. I know it. You know, people can bitch about eating a little fruit and things like that. But you brought it right home when you're talking about the pharmaceuticals and how the pharmaceuticals will rip you a new one. You don't want to take something that hurts you even more to treat something that's supposed to help you. It's insane. I've been on my variation of your protocol for 2 months and all fruit for 67 days. And after listening to more videos, I'm now very seriously on grapes. Good idea. Good idea. Now, upper circuit, brain, and nerve. Now, also work on this GI tract. You want to get these sinuses to drain. You want to get this GI tract cleaned up because you got to clean this head up. If you got tremors in the right side, it's coming from the brain, man, and you just got to fix. Could be coming from the cerebellum, but that's all lymph and inflammation or acidosis. So you want to get moving on that. Upper circ, brain and nerve for sure. Get the kidneys opened up, the adrenals, get the GI tract, go after that baby. I am now very seriously on grapes, citrus berries, and melons. Good job. No success with kidneys yet. Well, isn't that funny? When we start to learn about the kidneys, their little head pops up everywhere we look, isn't it? Also, I'm on half doses of pituitary, adrenals, lymphatics, nerve, and brain. Oh, good. Good. Heavy metal, endocrine, heart, liver, and stomach and intestinal cleanse. Good deal. Good deal. Smart. You might try the GI broom and stuff. Candle your ears. See if you can open up this, flow. Because once you get hydration going, all this mucus will start flowing out of you. And then pressure, things you didn't know you were feeling will come out. And the tremors will stop. You got to do this. You can take the antispasmodic for the tremors, and you can take it as often as you want. But you might want to use the antispasmodic for the tremors, and then use the brain and nerve to strengthen and rebuild. But you need neurotransmitters, and that's, of course, brain and adrenal glands. So we get up in here, and we get those adrenals going. I've got a 4 o'clock. I got 15 minutes here. Even found a jellyfish-like critter, bubbles, and sesame seed-like things after parasite cleanse. Uh-oh. Well, tell you, wait a month and do another one. And this time when you hit the parasite G, hit it about 4 or 5 caps 4 times a day. Do the same with the M and really do a kill. See if you got sacks of eggs and stuff like that coming out or more of these coming out. The jellyfish, that's your flukes. Probably your liver or pancreatic flukes. So you want to get those out. Real important to do that. When you spoke of brain lesions and nerve damage, I got really frightened. Well, don't get frightened because acids, that's what they do. And that's what MS and Lou Gehrig's, Parkinson's, they have brain lesions. No. We don't want that. They're fixable, very fixable. We've demonstrated that all my life. We have, I don't know, if a case doesn't follow us or finish with us, then I can't claim that one. But those that do, they don't have brain lesions no more, my friend. And that's what we're after. That's why the upper circuit, brain, and nerve, but it's also why you have to remove the cause. Get those acids out of that head. Yep. I don't want permanent brain and nerve. That won't be permanent. We can fixable, but a lot harder to fix after, isn't it? Yeah. While my right kidney isn't filtering, I decided to assist the cleanse until kidneys work with 15-minute daily saunas. Good idea. Excellent idea. You guys are getting good. You guys are getting like practitioners. You know exactly what you need to do to fix yourselves. You guys are, I commend you all. I love you all. You are all so beautiful souls. And I don't care if you're fat, skinny, or tall, or short. Let me see. Smart to do the saunas. If you kidneys can't filter, get the skin to filter. I do keep my head out of the sauna, thinking it would cause inflammation and want the heat from the body. Yeah, I'd be careful with the heat. I would. Probably a good idea. Before I began, the sauna stuff was all coming out in my face in big red boils. Yuck! You see? See why you're getting the tremors? All those acids coming out in boils. That's the stuff you want out of your body, you don't want in your body. Why would you take a pharmaceutical to lock all that nasty acids and pus and all that in your body? That don't make sense. You get it out. And I had to stop everything but my kidneys and adrenals. Yep. Sometimes that's what I'm saying about holding and folding. That's the art of proper detoxification. And you're good. Who is this? This is Deb, female. Knows what she's talking about. Knows how to fold them, how to go. Love that. Love that. Now I can take all the botanicals while doing the saunas, and the waste comes out my back and belly, mostly in the kidney area. See, and that's just what you see, all that waste coming out? Once that's out, you'll feel like you just were reborn into another world. This way I can continue to see my clients without frightening them anyway. Good job, sweetheart. Smart thinking, Deb. Little salt crystals come through the skin. Look at that. See what you're getting out? They could be calcification. They could be calcium crystals too. They hurt my teeny bit, but better to have some sore skin than brain lesions and nerve damage. Your thinking is along my thinking. Am I any way hurting myself? Nope. Am I retaining my body? Am I retraining my body to release through skin instead of kidneys? No, No, I think you're doing the proper thing, because that's what I would be thinking. But if we can't pee it out, we got to sweat it out, because if you can't pee or sweat it out, all these little holes or boils or styes, they are going to be the way the body kicks this crap out of you. So can't hurt to do that. Might not be pretty looking like you said, but the end result is gorgeous stuff. It's life and health and stuff like that. Huh?
I'll be back.
Okay. Because, yeah, I've got a 4 o'clock.
Yeah.
Hong Kong, 4 o'clock. 6 o'clock in Hong Kong. I'm hoping I'm releasing enough sediment and eventually my kidneys will activate. Yeah. You know, try if you wanted to, you could try a kidney glandular cytotrophin. Just a kidney glandular for 1 bottle. Bam! See if that'll shock those kidneys. Could try that. If not, you know, don't be afraid to up your dosage a little bit on 2 kidney formulas. You see why I'm using 2 kidney formulas now, don't you? And the adrenals. I'm trying to shake the tree loose too. So you all are seeing just what I'm seeing. You know, I'm bringing you all up to what 40 years took me to get to. So we can start from here and go on. Isn't that neat? We don't have to go to the past and live in the past. I've already done that. And so has a whole bunch of other people. You're not damaging your skin. I'm tired. I've tried to take pictures of my eyes without success. I've always imagined myself living a very long life, and I believe you are my secret to longevity. My dear, thank you. I love you, and you're the secret to it too, because you're the one that has to do all this. So I'm proud of you. You're a smart cookie. I love that. You know, we all coming out like Deb. She knows how to save herself. And that's the whole point. Each of you learn how to save yourself. We're individuals. We can't trust in a society to help us. That's where you see everything wrong. That's the social consciousness. That's geared to all kinds of negative stuff. You want to pull yourself. We're born as individuals. 11. We're born as individuals, but we stand as one. I've tried, okay, let me see. I thank you, Deb. Thank you so much. My heart's to you, sweetheart. Thank you. Unfortunately, I have to run. I'll be back. But I've got an appointment at 4 o'clock, and it's 10 till 4. So I want to get this back. And we shot a little with the little video earlier. We're going to get up for you. I hope you like it. Because this individual, when I first met her, was extreme suffering. She was bedridden. I still see her bed in Skype and still see her sitting in bed. You know, like this. Sad stuff. And now, she was bedridden, couldn't walk. Now she's walking and having one incredible life. And that's what it's about, guys. Get rid of your suffering. Forget your backbiting and your opinions of others. That serves no one well. And get yourselves healthy and happy. We're all working on ourselves. Every one of us. And I love every one of you. So you take care of yourselves, and we shall meet again on another video. May the blessings be.